guest, Leonard Garcia.
How's it going?
Leonard, you just came off a title shot for the WEC back in March. You mind walking us through that? Tell us about your opponent on that fight.
Yeah, I fought Mike Brown. He's a great champion. He did a lot of things that you do right as a champion. He came in, he won the fight. Basically, I feel like I walked in there a little too nervous, a little too excited. Made a mistake early on, got caught with a good punch. A lot of people thought I was knocked out, but I kept fighting, fought through it. He was able to get a cut on my forehead and kind of freaked me out a little bit. I knew I had to do something dramatic to make it a fight. So I tried to stand back up, to give the people what they wanted to see. And, Mike's a crafty guy, man. He caught me a head and arm choke, and that was the end of it.
Now, a lot of people, they're interested in the progression and the transition. What did it take to get you to the point where you had the shot at the belt?
Basically I fought UFC. I fought 3 fights in UFC, did fairly well. Felt like I was coming in way too light. So I got sent down to the WC because, 145 is the weight class there, and that's been my natural class since the beginning. So basically, man, they asked me to come in the WC, and I looked at the guys that were fighting, and they gave me a top-ranked guy, very first fight in. I was able to knock him out in the first round. Hiroyuki Takaya, the very tough guy. He's in the finals in the Dream Tournament right now.
Yeah.
And I was one of the only guys that put him down, other than another 55. So that boosted me up in the rankings of the featherweights, and then they gave me Jens Bova right after he had that 5-round war with Uriah.
Yeah.
And I was able to knock him out in the first round too. So them 2 fights kind of set me up for Mike Brown. So
right.
It was a good climb to the top, and I felt like I didn't go up there too fast. I felt like I was ready. I just felt like if I had gotten some of the nerves out of the way, be good. But I'm glad I've been there before, and I'm on my way back.
What else did you take from that fight that you can learn from?
Basically, man, Mike Brown lit a fire under me. I've seen a lot of things in training that it's crazy how when you lose, you analyze everything that you do. You come back to the gym and you go basically back to the drawing board again. And that's what happened, man. We came back to the drawing board, and my conditioning's always been there. It's always been a good trait, but I've never done any strength and conditioning. And coach implemented it into my training now, and it's a totally different field for training. Like, I'm not tired anymore. I come in here and give everything I got, and when it's time to go, I'm still ready to go. So the strength and conditioning is helping out a lot. It's keeping my cardio up so high that I can work everything that we need to work at a much higher, faster pace, and very repetitive, without being so tired all the time. So it's helping my game all the way around, man. And like I said, man, Mike Brown, I'll give him all the credit for that, because had I not lost to him, I wouldn't be doing this.
Right. Every sport, it's a game of adjustments, and even though you're at that high level, it sounded like you needed to still make a few more adjustments.
Definitely, I would allow my punching power to allow me to slack on other things, and now, with the strength and conditioning, my punching power is going through the roof, and I'm able to drill all the other things that I need to work on, and I feel great, and I'm excited.
Adding just another piece to the puzzle.
Yeah.
Got another fight coming up in the WEC. Tell us a little bit about, when is that fight?
August 9th. I'm fighting Jamil Masal. He's a really tough guy. He's 21-5, lots of experience. He fought Rafael Sunsao to a decision in the last fight, and he lost, but he felt like it could have gone either way, so he asked for another top 10 guy right away. So it's a tough guy, man. I've been training really hard for him. He's well versed in submissions, really good kickboxer. So it's it's one of them fights that excites you, brings you to the gym, and I got a lot of respect for the guy, but I'm gonna try to take his head off.
I really get the impression that you want a chance at Mike Brown again.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, without looking past your current opponent, where am I trying to go with this? What I'm trying to set up is, without looking past this guy, where do you see the transition? You beat this guy. You're gonna be screaming Mike Brown's name again?
Definitely. Mike's kind of tied up right now with Jose Aldo. I think they got a match set, but this fight is going to be like a new introduction for me. You know what I mean? It's going to be a different Leonard Garcia coming in. So definitely, man. I think there's 2 other guys in line other than me. We're all top contenders. One of the guys, Uriah Faber, Jose Aldo. Aldo's got a shot, so that leaves Faber, right there in the wings waiting for something. So I say I want to fight the best in the world, so, you know, after this fight, if I get through it the way I think I am, why not fight Faber?
Right.
You know, fight Faber, and then after that, you know, that'll give me a legitimate shot at the title again. And I feel like that's my path. I've been wanting to fight Uriah since I came to the WEC, and I think, you know, the cards landed where they landed, you know, and I think, you know, that seems to be my path, and that's the path I'm taking.
So would that be a much tastier fate in the end if you get to beat Uriah, to get your shot back at Mike, and then beat Mike? Yeah,
definitely.
Maybe fate's pushing you in.
Yeah, I think everything happens for a reason, man. I'm not a negative person at all. I've been through some pretty tough things in my life, and I feel like I've always overcome them because I always see it as, you know, you're going on a straight line and then something veers you off. You have to come back to it. So, you know, my strong points are being able to come back to the straight road. And I feel like, you know, this crook that Mike put in my path, it actually helped me to get into a straighter line. So I'm really excited.
So maybe the phrase rolling with the punches doesn't only apply to fighting.
Yeah, exactly, man. You know, I mean, like I said, you know, anybody who's ever followed me knows, you know, my life's had some crazy ups and downs. You know, there was times that, I mean, I basically had everything taken from me and was able to come back and make it. So, you know, I've had a couple of brushes with death. You know, I was stabbed 8 times, and then, you know, had both lungs punctured. One of the stab wounds was 1 millimeter away from the aorta.
Wow.
Yeah. So if he'd have nicked that, you know, and this was just some crazy guy on LSD that walked into Taco Cabana at 2 in the morning, didn't even realize what he had done the next day. When they woke him up, he was in the hospital also because we had a pretty good fight. But, you know, he wakes up in the hospital, he wakes up, he's banged up, his jaw's broken. He's like, where am I? They're like, you're in the hospital.
Wow.
And, you know, he's got police officers there waiting on him. He's like, what are they doing here? And they're like, dude, you almost killed somebody last night.
Wow.
And the guy didn't even have recollection of getting out of bed that morning.
Wow. You and Cowboy Cerrone and Tap Out have a new little project you're working on. Can you tell us anything about
Yeah,
that?
definitely, man. Me and Cowboy have a house here in Albuquerque, and we have an extra bedroom set up with 4 bunk beds, and they have their own restroom. Basically, man, what we're doing is we're bringing two pro fighters and 2 amateur fighters out each month to come train here at Jackson's under the tutelage of Greg Jackson and our team. And basically, man, just giving them, you know, a crash course on what it is that it takes to be in MMA, and you know, hopefully, you know, what we hope to do is give somebody a shot at actually coming out and making the team, you know, eventually, and you know, we're booked till 2010, 4 different fighters every month, so, you know, basically, we're just trying to give somebody a chance, you know, something that nobody ever gave us.
Trying to stir the bowl and see if you can find somebody who rises to the top.
Exactly, man, and, you know, I think chances are a big thing in life, and for us to be able to give somebody a chance makes us feel good, and we feel like it's going to be a successful thing. And I mean, worst case scenario, it doesn't work out, nobody works out, at least we try.
Very good, very good. Leonard, I really appreciate you taking the time.